everybody? This is Z Panther here, filling in for another narration here on Jigglypuff Gaming. To set the stage for these two, they're both pretty well-known players. Both are 2-0 at this stage in Swiss, and the winner here is going to advance to bracket. I'm sure the next one, the loser will as well very soon, but let's get into it. Alright, so Zapdos lead from pack, and Elian leads with a Tyranitar. Zapdos definitely going to want to get out of there. Suicune is a very good mid-ground here in case T-Tar wanted to Ice Beam or Rock Slide. Typically, a Suicune can take either of those fine and scare it out. Celebi's Elian's answer for the Suicune. Fairly standard stuff. Probably expect a Leech Seed coming out here to just put pressure on the Suicune, force it to rest. It looks like it's the offensive Suicune, and the crit just annihilates that Celebi. So we'll see what their answer is. They're going to Blissey, so probably just going to try to wear it down now that they know it's offensive Suicune. They should reliably be able to wear this down 1v1. Suicune is going to be able to chunk this, and most likely we'll be seeing a Dugtrio from pack, so this Suicune could be trying to trade. I'd expect some mind games here now with healing on the Blissey and the Suicune trying to keep it chipped for Dugtrio. Yep. Definitely probably going to want to heal one more time before the Blissey attacks this Suicune, just so that it is for sure out of range of Doug. You'd probably expect more of a bulky Doug on pack's side anyway, so it probably isn't fully attack invested. Although you could probably see an Adamant Doug that's more of an old school kind of special offense thing. I think Blissey should be okay there at 65%. Beat up probably won't quite do enough, so it might be able to heal spam out of range of this. Gonna need some crits to get rid of this Blissey. Ooh, and they actually just get a crit on the Dugtrio. That's one way to do it. This Blissey is just going to be forced out by Zapdos at this point, though. It's going to be hard for it to find the opportunity to heal, too. Typically, these special offense teams are pretty fast-paced overall. So maybe if the Rock Resist is like a slower Swampert, that might be the only time Blissey gets a chance to heal. The Zapdos is showing that it's HP Grass. I mean, it could be bluffing. A lot of these teams do go HP Ice, but HP Grass is pretty standard on Zapdos for a reason. And that does look like it was 4 times resisted. The Ice might have done like 7%. 40's going to take a lot from that T-Bolt, though, and just get up its spikes. I guess that's an okay trade. You're most likely going to live next T-Bolt. Maybe you're going to explode. No, and they just go for the HP Bug, which is ironically catches Claydol, and HP Bug 40 actually will 1v1 this Claydol. It's one thing that it can do. There's a lot of different sets 40 can run, but HP Bug makes it a lot more solid into Claydol and Starmie in particular. 2 of the most common spinners. This is definitely showing that it's a Rachi with a fire move, and it goes for a Calm Mind. This could be dangerous for Moltres here if this isn't a fire Jirachi. If this is like a thunder Jirachi, that would do a lot. And it just goes for the Psychic, so it probably is Sci-Fire. Just judging by that, if it had electric move, of course it would have gone for it. And the Moltres gets a really lucky burn, which is going to be big. Means it's kind of neutered this Jirachi effectively. Zapdos comes out, and this is suggesting that it's timid, although the Sandstorm damage confirms that Moltres is in fact faster. Looks like they're just going to sack Blissey here. I'd say smart call. Seems unlikely Blissey was going to heal up anyway. And that allows T-Tar to come in. Claydol can't switch into this. It's already been revealed to be Pursuit Tar. So Zapdos is going to have to try to 1v1 this. Ooh, and the Spadef drop there. That's actually pretty big because it means Zapdos might just drop to a subsequent crunch with sand, and it's forced out. T-Tar, physical T-Tar in particular, pretty good answer to Pursuit Tar, as they get another Spadef drop. That is very fortunate. Ooh, and they reveal that they're actually Pursuit with Brick Break, which is a pretty good set. It allows you to hit other Tar and keep pressure on Blissey. See, they go for the Crunch again. Crunch is doing quite a bit, and they get another Spadef drop. That is pretty awesome. It goes to show how spammable Crunch really is. You can just kind of click that move, especially with the Spadef drops, and it just really does a lot. T-Tar are not going to be able to 1v1 this Zapdos anymore. It is too low health at this point. They're just going to sack it. Out comes Swampert, which will definitely live a HP Grass from full. So, ooh, and what are they going to go for? They go for the Ice Beam. I'd expect Elian to probably go into 40 here. No need to waste the pert, unless, yeah. Yeah, makes sense. Are they just going to explode here? No, they go for the HP bug. That probably puts Zapdos in range of Moltres Flamethrower, so that's all you really need. That actually wasn't resisted hidden power by Zapdos. So that probably wasn't HP bug. That was actually probably like HP Ghost, I'm assuming, because it was still super effective on the Claydol. And the Swampert lives on 1%. Thinking you could have probably gone into Moltres there to finish off the Flamethrower, but this will work too. Let's see what Elian pull out. It did reveal Flamethrower, so it might be an Overheat Moltres, and if it is, that would definitely get the job done. But Flamethrower was more than enough, so Elian's going to steal this game 1. Came down to the wire. That was pretty close. Let's get into the next one. Right. So, turn 1, Swampert lead for Elian and Salamence lead for Pack. Swampert lead is pretty unconventional. Suggests this maybe it's a more defensive team, and there's not that much of a better lead there. Out comes the Magneton. As Skarmory just gets up its spike, Magneton suggests maybe this could be a physical offense of some sort, and definitely a possibility here. And we'll see, judging by this, that was most likely a Magneton. It has no chip on it, so no way of knowing for sure, but most likely due to it just one-hit KOing that Skarmory. And a Salamence comes out and reveals Fire Blast. So definitely more of a offensive spikes from Pack over here. Maybe we'll be seeing Celebi or Arrow in the back. Maybe it's one of those structures. And Blissey comes out for Elian. So maybe this is some kind of Magdoll. We might be able to see some kind of spin here on Elian's side, possibly. So far, a pretty defensive structure, but out comes Metagross. So there's 2 Rock Resist over here. And Seismic Toss does a sizable chunk, but no Skarmory here means it's going to be tough to switch into this, as they just go to their own Metagross. Maybe there's a Magneton on Pack's side as well, judging by this structure. Both are definitely sporting kind of similar teams in a sense. Maybe expect a Mence in the back for Elian there. As the Flamethrower just gets a burn on Blissey, which is actually pretty big. considering any chip on this is going to be nice. And it goes for Sing and Miss, but typically Blissey gets a lot of chances to throw out a Sing, so it's really not the end of the world for it. And Magneton, definitely a magnet, showing that it's not lefties there, and doing 23% to a Blissey, which is probably as hard as you're going to hit it with a special attacker like that. They reveal Claydol, so maybe on pack side we'll be seeing like a Snorlax last. I know that's a structure I've seen before. Maybe even something like it could be Mag, could very well be. Could be a possibly a Suicune even. Definitely seen that before. As the Magneton Toxics is Blissey, and it's actually going to be able to 1v1 this Blissey because of this. See if they call it. They do call the Claydol coming in, but they unfortunately miss the Toxic. And here they just decide to give up the Mag. But they do get a crucial Toxic on the Claydol. Yet to be determined what kind of Claydol. Most likely it's not Refresh, so that could be huge. And Heracross actually in the back for Elian, which is definitely going to force out the Salamence. So very, very obvious Rock Slide here, yep. It's not going to do a ton, but it is going to get crucial chip on that, especially because there's no sand. Any damage here is going to matter. And Brick Break does a lot to Blissey. Definitely a little bit more invested than the typical mix fence. Yeah, definitely a little more investment. Maybe about ooh, and they reveal Rock Slide, so maybe this is a Fire Grass Slide Brick Mence with a little bit more attack investment. Very well could be. This could even be maybe it's a mixed set with DD. That's always possible. And the Swampert gets a freeze on Blissey. Probably just going to see an EQ here. Nope, and they go for the Ice Beam again. See if they go for it a third time. And this time they do call out the EQ and catch them. Although this Claydol is going to get a little bit of chip from that Toxic. As they go Heracross once again. So getting this Heracross in on Blissey is pretty big. And this Heracross is showing lefties, so it's going to be hard to meaningfully chip this. It's going to SD. I wonder if it's Jolly. No, it looks like the Mence is still faster, so definitely going to force the Heracross out there. Oh, no, they just go for it. They're figuring they don't have a flying move, and Fire Blast is obviously not going to KO Heracross. They just go for another SD. I wonder if Metagross is going to boom here. And no, it just goes for a mash. If this is still Swarm Heracross, Megahorn might just clean up here. As they reveal Tarlas on Pack's side, that makes a lot of sense as well. Tar is definitely a good choice there on that team. And now Salamence is going to be able to revenge with its choice. If it has to revenge a Rock Slide, it could be a little dicey, or Fire Blast, since they have a miss chance, yeah. So that to me almost confirms that they have HP Grass last, which it's definitely a very good Salamence set. I've used occasionally myself actually, but it isn't the most common. You see there that it doesn't make you quite the best Heracross check, as Elian actually catches the Blissey with EQ, although this Blissey is faster, so it's going to be able to heal up anyway. Elian sees that and goes in Metagross. They're definitely going to be forcing this out. And the Blissey is actually faster than this Metagross, which that is either a very fast Blissey, like very invested, or maybe a minus speed Metagross. Maybe it's mixed in some way. As they just go for the Meteor Mash, and that's going to be enough to kill the Blissey with the Sandstorm. But judging by the Blissey being faster, the Pack's Metagross is almost certainly faster. And it looks like Pack's going to be able to clean up here because between the 3 mons that he has, he can actually just sack his Claydol here. And he just goes for the EQ. Figures it doesn't matter anyway. His Salamence will KO with Blissey from there. Makes sense. So we'll probably see them play around Boom. No, maybe not. Oh, they just go for a Curse. So they definitely don't have Protect. I think Pack's probably just going to Boom here. That makes sense. No, and they just go to Claydol. Okay. Maybe that is Boomless Metagross. That's my only thought. And they're just going to Boom now with Claydol. Interesting choice there. I would assume that the Metagross does have Boom. Maybe they just didn't want to Boom it because they like Metagross better, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it is Boomless. Maybe it's Agility 3 attacks without Boom. That would make sense why they would switch like that. Well, Pack takes this one, so we're going to head into this game 3. Winner takes all here. Winner of this advances to the next stage of the bracket. Let's get into it. Alright, so a Suicune lead from Elian and a T-Tar lead from Pack. Definitely a lot of varied leads between these players so far. Suicune just Calm Minds right away, indicating it's probably an offensive Suicune, so Ice Beam's probably coming out here. And there's actually no lefties either. So definitely an offensive Suicune. Probably expect to see like a Salac Berry. This could be an indicator of Italian offense. I know that's a very famous team that runs Salac Suicune. And the Swamper's going to get chunked by that Ice Beam. Maybe they're going to try to switch around with Celebi and Swampert. And Swampert protects. So Elian reads that, goes to Zapdos, which is a pretty good Swampert check. It's going to force Pack to go into one of T-Tar or Celebi. But Zap actually gets a sub off here, which is pretty bad for the T-Tar because a Doug could be coming in here. Yep. And the T-Tar even misses its Rock Slide. That's very unfortunate. Definitely would have broken the sub, but Doug is going to have an easier time trapping this T-Tar. That is very unfortunate, and the Doug is not going to take any chip because the sub was not broken. Skarmory comes in, so it's going to steal a little bit of momentum back, although Elian unveils Starmie, which is terrible for Pack. Not only does it just take that Toxic because that's Natural Cure, but it also spins away all the spikes that Skarmory can do. Skarmory's still going to go for it since the Starmie is Toxic, and the Zapdos is going to come out pretty free. And just T-Bolt, and that does 100%, so probably a Taunt Skarm, I'd assume. This structure is maybe an arrow in the back, most likely. Something along those lines, maybe a Gengar there. It's looking like one of those teams. As Celebi just goes to recover. And Zapdos looks like it's going to get another trap here with Doug. Oh, and they just go into a T-Tar. Wondering if this is a DD-Tar. It doesn't have any leftovers. Yeah, and it reveals DD right there. Is this DD Grass, though? Probably isn't. Yeah, I wouldn't think it would be on this kind of structure. But Zapdos is going to come in pretty free. Pack had to scout it anyway. Swampert is often like one of the only defensive checks on the team for a lot of structures. It kind of holds together their defensive core. So he had to play around it, had to be a little careful. As Metagross is revealed last for Elian, and it eats that Psychic with its 4x resist. So depending on what this Metagross set is, it could be pretty threatening to what they have left. And Pack actually reveals a Moltres that just dies immediately to explosion. Well, Gengar last. Okay, see, it does make sense to have a Gengar there. Moltres is in the like the cleaner slot there. I guess you consider Gengar as well, also a cleaner. But now Zapdos is coming out. Looks like Elian's struggling a little bit versus this Gengar. Depending on what's the investment, it's gonna live this. And ooh, a crit T-Volt will definitely get through it. I think that Gengar was very well positioned. Otherwise, Starmie would have definitely outsped it and revenged after that Thunderbolt. But it would have probably had to land a Hydro Pump, which would have been pretty significant. As Celebi just goes for recover. T-Tar's back in. And it's definitely indicating that it's HP Bug. As it just goes for another Dragon Dance. I think it's very safe to assume that this is a HP Bug T-Tar, probably Jolly-Tar, as it actually eats that Surf pretty well. And of course, Swampert takes practically nothing from EQ. I think Elian's okay with just trading damage on this Pert, because it's going to be hard for it to break Celebi, and they probably figure they can get dug in at Celebi at one point. Starmie's going to be pretty tough as well. It's going to have to go for a Hydro Pump here. So Celebi is going to be most likely coming in eventually. As the Hydro Pump misses on the Protect, definitely think that Celebi is going to be forced in here. So maybe we'll see a double from Elian. As they just go for the Ice Beam, just predicting the Celebi. That works too. It doesn't do a ton, and Celebi does have Recover. But you can fish for crits and freezes, and it's definitely gonna have to keep recovering to stay out of range of Doug revenging. They already know Zapdos has HP Grass, and there's the crit. Yeah, it was bound to happen. Celebi was on the back foot, having to switch into that Ice Beam. That was a good play by Elian, calling that out and going for the Ice Beam to catch that. As Starmie just goes for the Ice Beam, not trying to miss the pump or waste one on a Protect, most likely. Probably going to go for the pump here. No, they just go for the Ice Beam. And they get a freeze, so I'd assume now they probably go for the Hydro Pumps. Definitely, though, it didn't really matter, as Pack forfeited there. Yeah, that one was pretty hacksy. The missed Rock Slide early in the game was pretty big, allowing Doug to get the trap on Tar with no damage done to it. Crit on Celebi was pretty huge. Crit on Gengar was really huge. Gengar was very well positioned before that. But, you know, that stuff happens. It is Mons, as they say. So, with that, guys, I hope you liked it. I will definitely look forward to doing